Oh, this is gonna be good. Whoa, whoa! Oh, what the heck? See, that's the thing about Komander. It's like such an awesome combination of like lucha, but with also chain wrestling and technical wrestling. Like, there's so many different varieties in his style.
Yeah.
And Dark Panther too.
Oh, I like Dark Panther a lot.
But like, it's just like, they're hyping this as like a lucha match, but at the same time, look at them. They're doing submission holds. They're taking each other to the ground. Like, they're really giving you all styles. It reminds me of like early ECW stuff when like they brought in like the luchadors into ECW, or even when they brought in like Eddie and Chris.
Right. They're very versatile, and it's nice to watch because it's not just like lucha after lucha after lucha. It's very diverse, and you get a mix of different wrestling styles.
Right.
Komander really doesn't have bad matches. It's really insane. Is Chris Jericho still ROH champion?
Of course. Of course. Nobody's beat the Nueve yet.
Oh my goodness.
Though it does kind of seem like he might be dropping it soon. He's like, he just took off. I'm blanking on it. Not Gravity. He just took Gravity's mask. And it's like, you can't steal a lucha's mask without.
He stole Gravity's mask? That's defining Gravity.
You're an asshole. Like, I'm wondering why you waited so long to respond, and like, as you just stared blankly with no response, and then immediately, as if somebody pressed the button, just like react to it. I was like, what? Oh, of course, that's why.
Come on. Dark Panther looks like Jason Kelsey in a mask.
No, he doesn't. Jason Kelsey has way more body hair.
Fair.
Way more.
Fair.
Maybe it would look like it because Jason Kelsey's body hair is literally that of a onesie. So
yeah,
maybe like that's why they look like that.
Probably. You're right. This crowd's hyped
This has been a strong episode of Ring of Honor, by the way.
Yeah,
and then this is like
definitely.
This is a strong main event.
Yeah. It's like they learned or something.
I mean, I will say, I don't want to say if it's learned. It seems like they just decided to go right into the wrestling, like prioritizing wrestling, the in-ring action. We haven't really gotten any backstage interviews. We haven't really gotten too many promos other than what we just saw with the Outrunners. And so, but like from what this is, an hour 20 program, it is mainly highlighting the wrestlers. So like, once again, like they leaned into prioritizing wrestling over the entertainment aspect. And I feel it's a very strong episode. I don't necessarily know that I want that every single week, but
it's okay. It's okay to navigate in different directions. Sometimes it's okay to give us like heavy wrestling one week and then more narrative and moving story along the next week.
Also, with tonight, especially, I feel like almost every single talent they chose is like a really like a good talent to put on TV and give some opportunities. Like even, and we'll obviously get into it after the watch along is done and we start the show. But like Sid Ellington, the jobber who faced Satnam Singh, like he stood out to me and he like really got my attention. Like everyone chosen, whether they won, they lost, really deserved and enjoyed their time tonight.
Yeah.
This crowd's been a great crowd tonight also.
I literally just said that.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Right before you started talking about something else, I was like, this crowd's been really hot tonight. And then you started talking about something else.
You probably said it right as I was talking. And therefore I didn't hear you.
No, you were just talking over me as usual.
I don't think so.
Hot crowd. Omaha. I went to Omaha in September.
Omaha. I always think of Peyton Manning when I hear Omaha.
Of course, everybody does. Well, every normal person.
Everyone our age.
Yeah, everyone our age, yeah. Omaha.
Oh, watch out. Commander's about over. Damn.
What was that? Woohoo! Boom.
Here it comes.
Oh,
here it comes. Ooh. Whoa. That was cool.
You're behind me.
Whoa. Ooh.
I like that
He's so good.
He's so good. It's ridiculous how good. It makes me mad how good he is because I know he's gonna have to lose the title and go to AEW soon, and it's just gonna make me really sad.
I mean, I don't mind it. Like the ROH TV title has kind of become like the NXT championship to me, where I don't really mind seeing someone lose it because you know better things are in their future.
I know, but like as people who watch ROH week, like I want to see Komander on my screen.
Yeah, but like I said, like we still do see him in AEW, and with AEW we'll get to see more growth. I'm just saying, like in AEW, he's getting put into a tag team right now. They just trademarked the name, so it's like big things are happening for him. I'm grateful that we get to experience him on Dynamite and ROH, like and Collision, like or not Collision. Was it Rampage? No, Rampage is over. Collision. Like I've established, like I've accepted what the ROH TV championship is. And when I see Kyle Fletcher have match of the year candidates, I'm just kind of like reminded of, it's okay that they lose the title because they're on the right path.
No, but I'd like to see him and be able to talk about him on this show. That's
okay. Well, you get it now. So stop complaining about what's going to happen when he loses it and
it's not complaining. I'm
now.
saying sad. Sad is different than complaining.
But you're getting yourself sad. We're not. It hasn't happened yet.
I know.
Enjoy what you see. This is why people say you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Except Adam Banks.
Cake eater. That was a lazy pin. That was a lazy pin. No hooking of the leg. Didn't even have an arm on him, really.
Maybe he was taking a breather.
I think he's getting cocky.
Do it. I would never wrestle in a lucha mask. I couldn't do it. It's so sweaty. I'd be so uncomfortable. Where's he jumping
I
to?
wouldn't be able to see. I wouldn't be able to breathe. I probably wouldn't be able to hear my opponent, communicating.
Oh, that was sick.
Like, I would want to wrestle in a mask, but I just see so many ways it would go badly. Oh, here we go. Bum, 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 bum.
Woo,
again! That pose. And he always lands right on his feet. Oh, here it comes. Big finish. Whoops. Yeah. He's so good.
So good.
He held that pen for a little longer than 3, though. I think he pulled the big E. He needed 5.
He was like, I'm holding you tight and not letting you go.
Never let go, Rose. Never let go.
Why is he holding the belt? Stop that. Stupid. Why did he give it to him? Are they going to shake hands? Ugh. What's happening here? Oh, he's putting it on him. That's stupid.
Oh, okay.
I could be Komander. No, boom. That's nice. Man, Commander's so good.
Apparently, WWE championships, like the actual championships, are Velcro. And in
I knew.
watching him try to put it on, I feel like I know why now. Like, all championship belts should just be Velcro. It's easy.
It's just
Let's go
easier
for it.
because the snappies are hard. Those snappies are
Yeah.
hard.
Snappies are very hard.
Yeah.
And like, you can't really do it yourself like that good. Like, the snappies are not easy to navigate.
I also feel like you should wear your belt. Some people can't. I understand that, but people that can should just wear it.
Wear what?
Wear the belt.
Oh, you mean like around the waist?
Yeah. I know some people can't. I know some people can't.
No. But it's also something where I feel like the championship belt is so fun to hold up in the air, or even just to have in your hands. So like, it's easier if you just put it on your shoulder, drape it, you can grab it, you can put it there back on the shoulder, or you could always grab it and then move it to the waist. You've got functionality, ultimate functionality.
Until you're listening to someone talk for 25 minutes and you just have it on your shoulder and you're just holding it and doing nothing with it. Then you look silly.
That's possible. That's definitely possible.
Yeah, just wear the belt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best wrestling podcast around, hosted by Brady and Danielle, the Heel Mob.
From Brooklyn to your living room, it's the best podcast to listen to. Morning, even afternoon, here clever blind girl and a Jew talk about wrestling. They do it 24/7, cause they love to speak on it every week. That's why they are best friends, and they're back once again for some wrestling talk. So sit back, relax, it's time for Heel Mob. They're not just smart, they're Heel Mob.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends. We are back once again. I am the custodian of charisma. I am the ophthalmologist of optimism. She is the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. I am Brady. She is Danielle. Together we are the Heel Marks, and this is another edition of Mark of Honor, everybody's favorite Ring of Honor recap show. We just finished watching the main event here on this show. Thank you to those who joined us in the main event watch along of Ring of Honor. We did comment while we were watching it how strong of a show we did feel we got tonight.
Definitely. Yeah, it was stronger than most of theirs. There's been a few, and we always call it out when they're so strong because they're a few and far between. But this one really stood out with the aspect of showing off wrestling skills for every wrestler.
Right. They 100% prioritized the in-ring action where it was just match after match after match. And the matches, for the most part, maybe one match, maybe two matches actually were like kind of short. Because they were mostly, squash matches to highlight your regular talent. But for the most part, every match got time. Mm-hmm. Every match really got a lot of good back and forth opportunities. Like even the tag team match, Top Flight versus QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. Let's be honest with ourselves. QT and Aaron Solo do not win matches. However, these guys had me really believing like, oh shit, they might actually pull this one off. And that's a real big credit to them and to all four really, and the work they put into this match where they got a little injury involved. So now I'm like, oh wait a minute, maybe they're giving them an easy out. QT and Aaron Solo are two strong talents. QT's always been good. It's very underrated to me, and Aaron Solo's always been improving to me. So in the back of your head, you're like, hey, maybe they're gonna give these guys a shot.
Yeah, they came out very strong and very dominating, and you did feel that there were moments where it's like, oh, they are going to let them win, even though we're so used to them not winning, and it showcased them very well. I also just love Top Flight. I can't help it. I love them so much.
They're so good, and I did love after they won. I believe it was Darius who goes, and Darius, we don't hear him talk as much as Dante, but Darius looks into the camera. 2025 is Top Flight's year. It was short. It was sweet. It was to the point. I enjoyed it. I like that type of aggressive hunger, from a tag team that it's weird when it comes to tag teams like Top Flight and also a bit of Private Party, where these are teams that I think of from like AEW day one type of stuff. You know,
Right.
like these guys getting signed quick, and immediately we're like, oh, these are a good tag team. These are young. These are hungry. These are the future. And granted, Top Flight in particular had a lot of injuries they had to deal with.
Definitely.
But you did kind of figure that in 2025 they'd be a bit
They
farther
bounce back.
along.
Yeah. Yeah. You thought they would have a bigger bounce back. Sometimes they can get lost in the shuffle with so many tag teams and then like makeshift tag teams and stuff like that. But they've been standing out.
They just had an implosion of their stable with Leo Rush and Action Andretti turning on them and doing their own thing. And I feel like that got relatively little time on AEW to really like showcase that. Like it gets watered down with everything else. I almost feel like doing that breakup here on ROH, where we had seen that stable probably a lot, you know, on Ring of Honor. Yeah, doing that breakup here might have, and I don't, you know, not to say that doing a Ring of Honor would get more eyes on it than doing it in AEW, but they didn't give it as much attention. Whereas in here, it would have been one of the main storylines that you tune every week for. We don't really have one of those at the moment. You know, there's no real feuds chiming at us. We did kind of get a feud reunited. Got that a little later in the evening, where the Outrunners came out to get Omaha hyped. Omaha. Yeah, I thought this was weird at first. Like, I didn't know where it was
going. A little weird. Like, yeah.
Did they really just give the Outrunners a segment just to be like, we're the ultimate baby faces? You guys are going to win tomorrow. But then we get the feud that will never end, and I'm not asking for it to. The Infantry and the Outrunners. There was that 1 week where they were cool, and then ever since just went right back to hating each other. And this is what I want from them. I want them to forever hate each other.
Yeah, it was like a mini for a little bit, and now it's like, no, we still hate each other. No, get out of here. I thought it was really fun the way the Infantry was feeding, like going at the crowd. I thought that was fun too. They really were like letting them have it. And they were really it was really fun to watch, and you could tell they were having a really good time, like messing with the crowd and getting like cheap heat.
Carly Bravo in particular, you can tell I assume he was a wrestling fan. I'm making that up really, but in my mind, as a growing up a wrestling fan, he always wanted to be the heel. He just, you know, you can tell he has so much fun being able to just like say whatever you want, be as hateable as you want. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. This feud in general was a lot of fun, and it's the best possible thing for both of these teams to do in Ring of Honor right now, because simply it's not even like WWE. AEW ROH has committed a lot more to the Outrunners, but at the same time in AEW, they're committing to them TV time, not necessarily the biggest wins. We just saw them lose last week. Infantry, they get wins here and there, but they also get L's here and there. So there isn't that much commitment, but due to status alone, you kind of think of Outrunners and Infantry when you think of who are the top contenders coming for the tag team titles.
Oh, absolutely.
Like where they can always get a tag team title shot and you don't really need explanation because of everything they've done and, you know, the fact that they are up here now. So this is one of the feuds that I always enjoy, where the feud can feel, whether they want it to or not, it'll feel like an unofficial number one contendership. You know, you kind of feel whoever comes out of this feud on top will have a good claim. We'll have a good claim to, hey, I deserve a shot now. We just got past these guys.
Oh, absolutely. And they're the tag team that they're the two tag teams that really stick out in ROH. When you thought, like, at first we really thought the Righteous were doing that, and you know, that's not a thing anymore. So it's the Infantry and the Outrunners are really the ones that we are looking at to finally not even have a feud with the tag champions, just to be the ones to take the tag titles and have a shot at the tag titles.
I don't know if we talked about this on the show, but I feel like I remember we got real excited because we saw Elijah and the Righteous put out videos, and we talked about it on the show.
Yeah, that
might happen. Then Elijah goes to TNA, and we haven't really seen the Righteous since anything.
Right.
And it occurred to me that wasn't a video AEW and ROH put out. That was an independent video they put out on social media. And if you watch the original video that Elijah put out last year when he became Elijah, this video is an exact, like, it continues into it.
Right. Yeah.
It's essentially, you can watch them both back to back and it looks like one video.
Right.
So it makes me kind of wonder if the Righteous are done with Ring
Yeah.
of Honor. And maybe that's something that they were doing
Maybe.
together for the Indies, which, of course, if they were doing it on the Indies,
Right.
it doesn't necessarily mean they're gone from Ring of Honor. However, if because they did it so soon, like, he made his debut in TNA so quick after it, I feel like maybe
Right, like right
weeks
after.
later.
Oh yeah, because I remember when the video came out and I sent it to you and we were hyped. We were like, this
Right.
is perfect.
You're like, yes, this is what we need.
Yeah.
And everyone assumed, oh, Elijah's coming to Ring of Honor. And then Elijah goes to TNA, and now I'm assuming, hey, maybe the Righteous is done with Ring of Honor, or at least maybe they're trying to get out. Maybe like that was
Yeah.
something fun they wanted to do for the Indies, and they were still able to do it. But
Yeah.
it's
Maybe.
definitely it's a curious case of what's going on with the Righteous, because if they're not done with Ring of Honor, then Ring of Honor is just continuing to be foolish by not utilizing amazing talent like that to the degree you should.
Right. Yeah.
I did mention how much I love a feud that can actually take us to a number one contendership. Let's talk about the actual number one contender match. We got AR Fox versus Kevin Knight. What'd you think about this one, Danielle?
This was my match of the night.
Yeah?
Yeah. 100%. As I was watching it, I was like, match of the night. I was like, I know Commander's coming up and Commander doesn't have bad matches, but like, it's going to have to just, no. I was like, this was my match of the night. I thought they complemented each other so well. People are hot for AR Fox, man. This crowd was fantastic. This was such a good crowd. And like, the chanting, everything. Kevin Knight, they were just feeding off each other and complimenting each other so well in the ring. 100% my match of the night.
It was a really, really good crowd. We've said it before. We'll probably say that again tonight because the crowd does deserve credit. They enhanced the show. One of the reasons why we're over here raving about how this was such a strong show is due to the fact that the crowd was hot. They were louder than your average ROH crowd is. It was just really, really good to see them get hype for every single match we got. Another reason why we're here talking about how we really didn't have bad matches tonight. The only thing the nitpicking for me with this is simply the fact that there's been no true commitment to establishing either of these guys being on a roll, getting some momentum. There's not been a committed, consistent push for either one of these guys to actually validate the decision to give them this number one contendership match, to the point where I do see how neither of them winning does make them both look strong. And the fact that it was a fucking fire match makes everyone be like, oh, run that back. Yeah, these guys are elite. At the same time, they were given an opportunity that maybe they didn't deserve, and neither one of them could get the job done. So I wonder if maybe it does, maybe, and also to the point that I'm making here, in that neither of them really, and it's not their fault that ROH hasn't given them consistent matches before and consistent wins before putting them in a match like this. But you heard commentary. They were talking about how somebody was on a roll and somebody deserved an ROH TV title match. It wasn't one of these guys. You catch who they were talking about?
I don't remember. Who were they talking about?
Blake Christian.
Oh, yeah. They were talking about Blake Christian and saying that he's like 7-0, right? Weren't they saying something like that?
6 in a row or 7
6
in a row.
7 in a row. Yeah.
But he's the one with the winning streak. Why is he not in this match? Why did he not attack both of these men after the match? Why are you bringing him up and bringing attention to me about the fact that, oh, yeah, he's killing it? Dark Panther is getting a title match tonight, but Blake Christian has been more impressive than Dark Panther, gotten more wins in a row, and these two guys get a title or a shot at a shot, and Blake Christian's left out again. So them bringing it up might be my main complaint, and I enjoy stuff like that, but I don't think it did these guys any favors, because all of a sudden it brought my attention to, oh yeah, why are these guys getting a number one contendership shot? Yeah,
I don't mind people getting, and I understand you're just doing a little nitpicking. I don't mind people getting number one contender shots, but like you said, bringing up Blake Christian is a little weird
Well,
because
and
then
then
it's
to the
like,
point where
where is he then?
and listen, with them ending it, and then by the way, Danielle Terry, this is Beecher.
Oh, hey. Hey,
What
Beecher.
up, Beecher? But yeah, like with this match, they ended in a way where maybe as they are talking to, I mean, I guess there's no authority figure, but maybe they're just talking to Lexi about how, yeah, we got to run it back. You know, we both still need our shot at the title. And then Blake Christian can enter the frame and say, listen, you guys couldn't even beat each other. I have beat everyone that's faced me, you know, in the past month or two. So there's still a chance that, like, I'm assuming there's got to be a reason for it. I want to believe there's a reason for it, because otherwise they just gave us the only reason we would have to not be amazingly impressed and feel that both of these guys got elevated from this match.
Right. Yeah. It was just it was still a fun match. Like, regardless of your nitpicking, I really enjoyed this match a lot. I thought it was such a good
had nothing
match.
to do with the match,
I
really.
I know it had nothing to do with the match. Yeah.
And speaking of the match, like I do love that with the fact that neither of them lost and the whole question of who's the number one contender is kind of in the air now, it puts them both in that conversation, which I think helps both of them a little more than it would have had, let's say, AR Fox won the match. So now Kevin Knight loses and kind of out of sight, out of mind. We kind of just sweep him to the side for now as it comes, as it pertains to who's going to face the TV champion moving forward. AR Fox probably gets his match next week, loses, and then boom, he gets pushed to the side as well. We've seen this formula done in the past on Ring of Honor fairly regularly. So in this way, at least both of them kind of get at least an extra week, possibly two, depending on when they follow up on this, where they both still kind of have a claim to, hey, we deserve a shot at the shot. Hey, we're in the conversation. Komander's facing somebody for that title every week, it seems. So now these guys are able to talk, able to speak up, able to raise their hand, able to make a little 100%. Noise.
Right. I'm looking
so
yeah, I really like Kevin Knight. Yeah.
He's so good.
He's good. Funny, like, obviously, we love AR Fox. We always love AR. We've been loving AR Fox forever. But Kevin Knight
kind of reminds me of AR Fox mixed with Kushida.
Is he like he makes me feel like an AR Fox student. I don't know if he is, but he makes me feel that way.
No, yeah. Definitely gives it like Skulk vibes.
Yeah, definitely Skulk vibes. Yeah. I really like
it.
I'm
excited to see what they do with these guys moving forward. Also excited about the CMLL partnership that we continue seeing more of every week. We got this match, Mystico, Neon, and Fuego getting the big win. And I this is another match where I thought it could go either way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot happening. This was Lucha Rules, right?
I don't think I heard them say Lucha Rules.
Oh, I thought they said Lucha Rules at one point, because I was like, oh, and they're like, that means anybody can tag in at any time. And I was like, they could jump in. And I'm like, oh, is that what Lucha Rules is?
Wait. It means you could wait. What does that even mean? You could tag in at any time.
I don't think you have to get tagged. I think you could just jump in at any time.
No,
that's what he said. That's what he said. He said, "Oh, he's like, these are Lucha Rules, so you could jump in at any time." And I was like, "Does that mean as soon as you jump in, the other person has to jump out?"
I feel like maybe that just means that like how in a normal tag team match, if the person not tagged them comes in, you're only allowed for 5 seconds. Otherwise, the ref calls for the bell. That's technically the rules. Maybe they just meant that with Lucha Rules, there are no rules like that. And so that's why if all three guys want to come in and just start flying all around and attacking everyone, they're like, oh yeah, it's Lucha Rules. No tag. It's cool.
Honestly, no.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention nearly enough to that. Like I definitely didn't think I noticed non-tags. Like I definitely noticed them tagging, and it seemed like a fairly standard 6-person tag team match with nothing but Lucha High Flyers. But yeah, I'll have to pay attention to Lucha Rules next time. I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, I'm not 100% keen on Lucha Rules. I try to figure it out, and I still get confused.
Yeah, it was
fun and high flying.
Neon is so fun.
Neon's fun.
Mystico, Fuego's fun. Fuego's like his dance. His dance was so fun. I didn't see that coming.
We've been
Like,
seeing
that's another
Fuego
thing,
a
like,
lot
I feel
more
like
recently, so I'm like really enjoying seeing him.
the lucha masks kind of just give it more of a serious feel. You don't know,
Right.
what's going on under there. Are they smiling? Are they laughing? Are they pissed? And so when they just randomly go for a big flip and then do a dance, you're just kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
this is awesome. But yeah, this match
be
was just
you'd be perfect for
nonstop
that.
high flying.
I could picture
Yeah,
you like
it's funny.
dancing around after you
I'm
win.
sure you can. Beecher, I was thinking the same thing where it is fun to see Mystico completely make everyone forget about the fact that he was the OG Sin Cara and
Yep.
how bad that attempt went. And it's so funny when I actually thought of that was during their entrance because commentary referred to Mystico as a future Hall of Famer. I don't exactly know what Hall of Fame he's talking about, but mentioning him like that immediately just brought to mind like, oh wow, he's really, like it's just he really has redone it and gotten back to the legendary status that he kind of had before coming in to the States and being Sin Cara. Like he was a big deal in Mexico before everything that happened.
Definitely. Yeah. So I'm glad. I completely agree with Beecher on that one too.
Yeah, it's
Sin Cara,
interesting. Like I love the CMLL partnership and the matches we get from it.
Me too.
I would like to see more like stories, programs, feuds with these guys. But at the same time, ROH is doing a great job of giving us a mixture of everything. And so while we do get some stories and we do get some people that we're going to see every week, sometimes they just want to throw us 6 guys and say, hey, go tear the house down.
Right.
And this is exactly what we got here. Also very fun to see Viva Van get a entrance. I know you knew I was happy for that.
I knew you were happy. We love entrances here. That's a big deal for us. I also love Viva Van. I like this match a lot. I thought this was really a fun match.
Viva Van had been used mostly as an enhancement talent. I mean, it still is technically, but because of that, she regularly didn't get entrances. So when we now see her get an entrance for a match with somebody who is getting a bit of a push, easily Viva Van could have gotten no entrance here. But the fact that they did give her an entrance, it's almost like we're watching her get elevated a little bit. Like she's graduated now. It's kind of like with Aaron Solo, where we see him started getting entrances now when he used to never. We're seeing they're climbing the ladder slowly but surely, getting to they're still kind of in the enhancement talent stage.
Right.
But they're becoming more of somebody who can be a player sooner than later. And Viva Van, she gives commentary a lot to talk about with the achievements she's accomplished outside of Ring of Honor. And so them saying 6 championships worldwide last year she held, like that's a big deal. And so the fact that she gets the entrance accompanies that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This match was really fun. I like this match a lot. I actually love both these wrestlers.
Yeah, I really like Catalina. She's another one that got a bad shake in WWE. Happy to see everything she's done since then. And I think most people forget that she was in WWE.
I forgot until you just said that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
and for good reason. What she did was what they did with her, I should say, was forgettable. But what she's doing on her own is definitely opening a lot of eyes, and I'm glad to see her. I think Ring of Honor, the women's division here, is perfect. I love to see her step up and challenge Red Velvet. Love to see her knock on her mama's kitchen and say, "Listen, let's go."
Knock on her mama's kitchen.
Well, because that's where Red Velvet's from. She's from Yo Mama's Kitchen.
From my mama's kitchen?
Yep, Yo Mama's Kitchen birthed Red Velvet.
My mom would take
that
wooden spoon
and be making red velvet cake, right?
I got it. My mom would take that wooden spoon and be like, "Get out of here." Diane would go nuts. She'd be like, "Get out of here," and take her wooden spoon and beat her ass.
I think Sid Ellington wished he got out of there because this man took a beating. I really liked Sid Ellington, though. Like I said that earlier.
I'm not a huge fan of the Sing guy. I'll have to see more. I'm not a huge fan. I'll get there. It takes... I need some wooing. I
personally think that when you have like a giant, I personally think it's better to push them as a baby face, at least like at first, because you can get his impressive feats of strength over, especially if you're feeding him, smaller guys. Like that stuff can always be impressive. Whereas if you make him a heel and he's not really doing anything heelish, he's just the heel. He's just the guy you're supposed to boo. Then all those things kind of don't get the same reactions. It's just and it comes all of a sudden. You're booing a guy who's not really bumping, he's not really running fast because he's so big. It just like the Great Khali effect is kind of what I call it in my head, where it's like when they made him babyface, they somehow got that guy so crazy over. They got so loud for this man who really didn't seem to understand what was going on around him. The kiss cam stuff was ridiculous. But as a babyface, he got over and they actually popped for him big. As a heel, it felt like he was getting go away heat. Because you're like, bro, this guy can barely move. Why am I watching him? He's just going to squash everyone because he's so much bigger than them.
Right.
Why do I need to see this? So I feel like similarly with Singh, as a babyface, he's better. And his stable has kind of switched over to the babyface side. So I think this is a better fit for him, where now, especially on Ring of Honor, you can kind of have him muscle people around and be impressive. I could see him getting the one more time chance from crowds.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah. Yeah. I really like Sid too. Yeah.
Yeah, Sid's got a fun look and he's a great bumper.
I was going to say, he's a really good bumper. I love a good sell and a good bump. Like when you do that to make the other person, that's probably why I love RVD so much. I love Ziggy because of that. There's so many wrestlers, HBK, obviously. Like there are so many people that just take such good bumps and make the other person look so good taking the bump. They do it flawlessly. It's like their body just reacts.
RVD's always been like one of the smartest to me because he's one of the few people, I think more people do it now because of him, but he was one of the first people I ever saw sell the impact of his aerial finisher. Whereas most people they hit a top rope move and immediately going for the pinfall. This guy would hit it and then bounce around, sell his own move because he just got 10 feet in the air, landed down with a big crash. It hurt him too. Why wouldn't it, right?
Dude, I fucking love RVD. Like you're just talking about it, it's getting me so high. I'm like, I need to watch old RVD matches. I miss that guy so much.
He's good.
Go.
Just as much as I love seeing Rob Van Dam fly from the sky, I love seeing the Beast Mordos just destroy opponents. They've been using him perfectly ever since the rebrand.
Yeah,
and I do 100%. Enjoy him and Drillistico working together.
All these names, these Listicos, Serpico, too many Opicos. Oh, B just said he's your GOAT. He's my top 3 GOAT. That's what I just said. I was like, he's GOAT. RVD definitely GOAT.
If we're talking about butts, he's definitely Danielle's GOAT.
Oh, yeah. Bailey might have to be up there, too.
He's definitely up there. Male butts, RVD's got that.
Oh, RVD, 100%. RVD, GOAT. I love RVD. Anyway, Mortos. Yeah, Mortos is so good. And I, like you said, the rebranding of him definitely like just elevated him even more and made him such a monster. And it's so awesome to see. I'm really, And I thought these other guys were good too. I thought they were really good. Drillistico is good too. I don't want to say it like that. I don't want to not say
totally said it like that.
No, I didn't mean it like that. But like Beast Mortars obviously is the showcase here, and it's definitely obvious.
He's been on a tear.
Right.
And he's one of those guys, but just like you want him to be this monster. Like with the look he has and the ability that we're aware of, you want him to just be unleashed. And this was one of the matches we talked about earlier where I said only like 1, maybe 2 matches were short. I want to say this match was like 2-3 minutes tops. And it didn't need to be anymore. I also love the Perea, but with this match, it did what it was supposed to do. It's reminding us, hey, this guy's a monster. This whole stable is monsters. Here's 2 of them.
Yeah.
And watch them. We've unleashed them for you. And the match shouldn't take very long. It should be those like them devouring their prey. The Beast Mortos is unleashed and unrivaled when it comes to violence and domination.
Definitely. I love the way you
And that's
said
what we
that.
want to see. Yeah, right?
I like it. Yeah.
I think. Did we talk about everything but the main event?
I think so. Let's talk about the main event. You want to talk about the main event?
Wait, did we talked about every match other than the main event, right? We did it?
That we did.
We did it. Wow. Well,
Because it was more wrestling
the,
and not, it was more wrestling
right,
and not promos
right.
and not,
Really, the only non-wrestling form of entertainment we got tonight was the Outrunners and the Infantry.
I called them the Outlanders. You know what I meant.
I called them the Outlanders one time. I remember that. So you get the pass.
It wouldn't be a Brady and Danielle Mark of Honor or heel marks unless I pronounced somebody's name wrong. Like it wouldn't.
Exactly.
Be.
Right. Or sing a song, and there's still time for that.
What do you mean? I said Defying Gravity. I already did it.
That was a song related joke. You did not sing it.
Oh.
I mean that was a great.
Well, you know who's always defying gravity? Do you know who's always defying gravity? Komander.
Komander.
So good. I'll say to him right in the face, this man doesn't have bad matches. Like it's unheard of. I am always entertained with this man's matches. I am always looking forward to this man's matches. Like
100%.
Like as a person who's a wrestling fan, obviously I can differentiate like luchadors and like their mask. But if you're not a wrestling fan and you're like, oh, everybody has the mask. This is this person. Like everyone confuses them in a sense. No,
you know, it's funny. You say that during Catalina's entrance because she was wearing the mask. Remember, commentary was like, "How do we know it's the same person? How do we know it's her?" And then she took the mask and she's like, I knew it was her.
Before I get into that, I just want to say commentary. I feel Caprice was a little off today. He was like he was doing the stuff when sometimes like I'm poking you and I say stuff that's not funny and it falls flat and you just like ignore me. Because Riccaboni was hard doing that to Caprice. And I was like, oh, this is like when Brady does this to me. I was like, oh, he was a little off. But anyway, but what I'm saying is like Komander commands the room, if you will. And you know,
were gonna say that.
You know right away who Komander is when he comes out, no matter what mask he's wearing, what gear he's wearing. He is such a dominant force, and I love watching this man. I get excited. I look forward to his match. Anytime they announce a match that he's going to be in, I'm looking forward to it.
And I did mention it while we did the watch along of the main event, but the fact that Komander and Dark Panther as well, but they're just so versatile. And it reminds me of old ECW when they were bringing in the luchadors, they were bringing in Eddie and Benoit, and we were getting all these different styles in once at the same time. Right. You know, and that's what we get, where he'll grab his arm, he'll wrench it, he'll go to the top rope. You think he's going to do some slick Hurricane Rana. No, he moves it into an arm drag, or he moves it into a chain wrestle move. And it's just kind of like, I love that we're getting everything from him. And that's what makes Komander so special. Obviously, the videos people are going to post online are always going to be the high flying spots. They're always going to be the tightrope walk and the stunt, pose 100%. In the middle. And then he always lands on his feet, but he's really just so well versed in everything. The only thing we haven't really seen him do consistently is talk. Right. And I don't know. I have heard him talk, so he can talk. Like it's like in terms of like he has promo ability. Right. But I'm curious, they don't give him the mic that much, and he is their champion. So I'd like to see that change. If we want to let the hype man do most of his talking, that's fine. But I'd like to hear from our champions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You always want to hear from the champions. Crap. I was going to say something that yours. Oh, that he gives he really has shows variety in his wrestling. I know we said it during that watch along, and I'm just reiterating what you said, that we get all different types of wrestling, not just the luchador style and the lucha style of like high flying and all that stuff. There, like you said, there's chain, there's technical wrestling, there's stuff. And that's what's so good about him and Dark Panther is they complement each other so well in this match that they both can do that and show their abilities with variety.
Yeah.
And that was a big
100%.
thing. Yeah. This was a really good match.
And it's like, we know how he likes to end his match with the tightrope shooting star.
Yeah.
Which no complaints here. but I could see him start getting into his bag and eventually finishing. I could see him finishing moves off with a submission finisher.
I was gonna say submission, right? I could see him do a submission.
I could see him doing something where he kind of just runs at the opponent and hits them with like a weird DDT. I could see something like that. It's so versatile, and a lot of times with that, they don't like sticking with the same finisher after a while. Eventually, they do like switching it up, especially Komander. Like I feel like he has so many visually stimulating moves that could all be finishers.
Absolutely, so many. I just think of everything that he does, and I'm like, even his like rope walk is different each time he does it. Like he could do it 3 times in a match, and all 3 times are different.
The pose is always just so crazy to me.
Good. I always get nervous because
he lands on his feet every fucking time.
Every time that man lands on it, that man is the Randy Moss of the wrestling ring. Like he's just
when he lands on them. And when he lands on them, maybe because he's like landing on his feet, and so it's kind of just like he's just smashing them and then just walking, but it looks effective. It doesn't look like he's getting caught like, with a lot of the moonsault dives or a lot of the other dives where people are waiting and catching like this type. I mean, granted, obviously, if you get the wrong camera shot, you can totally see them waiting to catch him.
Right.
But at the same time, like the impact always strikes me as very effective, at least visually.
100%. Love Komander.
Interesting to see what happens with the TV title moving forward. AR Fox and Kevin Knight fought each other for the opportunity to be number 1 contender. Neither of them won it, but it is very ROH for Komander to just be defending his title every week.
Love it.
So, like, I wonder if, like, for example, if he just faces somebody else next week that's not Kevin Knight, not AR Fox, not Blake Christian, then in your mind, you're kind of like, wait a minute, then why did they kill themselves for 10 minutes trying to be number contender? What did this person do?
Yeah.
It always depends on the selection, but at the same time, I'm choosing to look at the positive side and think that they're going to do something with the failed number 1 contendership match. The fact that it was a time limit draw and both of those guys technically have dibs on what happens.
Right.
Next for Komander's championship.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed Blake Christian appearing on the show just because they mentioned his winning streak during the number contendership. Like, no, because I was expecting him to attack both those guys after the time limit draw. When that didn't happen, when Komander won, I was kind of like, all right, this would be a great time for Blake Christian to just lay him out. Like, I think that's what I need also in Ring Around. I want aggressive contenders. I want people literally like especially when you have a babyface champion, give me a throwback. Give me the heel that just attacks the champion because they know that's going to get them the title shot.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially give Blake me Christian. That.
Give me Blake Christian all day, by the way. I love Blake Christian. Give me him all day. Like such a heel.
All day.
The fantastic heel. I love him.
Like, if there's no follow-up to them mentioning him on a show he's not on during a number 1 contendership matches with 2 other people that haven't done what they're saying he's done, like, that makes no sense. I'm so confused by it. Either that or just Caprice and Riccaboni decided they were going to put Blake Christian over because why the fuck not?
They were just like, why not? I told you, they were a little off tonight.
Yeah. But once again, maybe they were on. Maybe this is storytelling and they planted the seeds for what we're going to see. We will have to do nothing but wait and see. Guys, thanks so much for joining us for another edition of Mark of Honor. Do not forget to follow us everywhere at The Heel Marks and tune into the next edition of The Heel Marks. Tune into the next edition of Mark of Honor. Of course, that means you're going to have to tune into the next edition of Ring of Honor, which we will do, and we will see you next week. Never forget, we're not just smart marks.
We're heel marks.
We're heel marks.